What are you saying? Give credit where it's due. Chelsea were simply superlative.
Tell this man that the day Chelsea will lose the match, he will not host the program. Me Douala.
On the player.
Touch him on.
Douala.
Touch him.
You've waited for today. Today I have come. Quick. So we'll look at what actually went through the brain of Maresca.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Madam Go Podcast. We are back again with another episode of the show. The guys are here. Danny K, Achu, Sicho will join us later. Coach Nimley as well is in the building. I don't know why he's not seated at the start of the show, but don't worry. We've got quite a number of things to talk about today on the show. The World Cup draw is on Friday, so we'll react to the World Cup draw in the next episode. But lots of you have been have been sharing your annual recap on podcast, YouTube recaps. And Madam Go is number one on many people's recaps. Man, that is amazing. And listen, and a lot of people are calling for like regular episodes and what have you. But you know, the thing is that it's a little challenging because of our work schedule. But we'll work something around. When we go independent, we'll carry Midweek with us and we'll go independent. We can record as many times as we want. But listen, guys, today we will talk about three things. We will review the midweek action from the Premier League, La Liga, Real Madrid back to winning ways. Of course, Manchester City's dramatic 9-goal thriller.
You know, go give shouts to some of the people where they mentioned the pod.
Oh, I will give them the shouts.
Some of them.
So give them the shouts.
There are a couple of people who every day, if they don't see the pod, they are in my Twitter. There's a guy called Asifo Okran. I think he's from. I know him from Tadi. I know the name.
Yes, give him the shouts.
Never met the person. Charlie Asifo, a big guy.
You are doing long.
I'm not doing long. I'm not doing long.
Give him the shouts. Mention his name. Give him the shouts.
Yes, Asifo.
Big
all
shouts
our people
to you.
at Rage Hospital.
Yes. Big shouts to the guys there.
At Rage Hospital.
Some of those of you sharing your recap. Share your recap. Tag us on Twitter, on X especially. So big shouts to Nana Kojo Berima. Betway Podcast is your number one. So that is fantastic. Then there is Eugene. Betway Podcast is your number one podcast that you listen to. Your recap. I've got lots of them. There is Dokuna Hene, Kwesi Abrantie. Yeah, Betway Podcast. Malam Go is his number one. There's AFC L. Big shouts to you as well. So many people with Betway Malam Go Podcast. Haruto Nakamura is also one. Yeah, so Charlie, big shouts to all of you. Those of you who haven't shared your recap
MLS yet. Lawrence George.
That's right.
Then Lacafred 1.
Thank you.
Lacafred 1.
Yeah. Fred 1. That guy is always... He's the guy always sharing the videos. That's him, right? Yeah. Big shouts to all of you. Look, listen, we appreciate you. If you suffer something lawyer. Suffer is...
God they start. God and man.
Safo, yeah. Safo is also a big one.
Yes.
He's got Malam Go as number 2. He has to be number 1.
He has to be number 1.
Safo, Preman for lawyer.
Yeah.
Safo, make it number 1. So big shouts to you. And big shouts to everybody. Actually, thanks for that. I think those shouts were necessary. We'll give more shouts as we go on. Yeah. But guys, listen, we'll talk about the midweek action. We'll preview the weekend. And then we will talk about Champions League action next Tuesday and Wednesday. There's some big games to look forward to. Inter Milan, I think, are playing against Liverpool.
Yeah.
That should be a big one. There's Man City against Real, no? My God.
We'll see if Slot is still has a job by then.
Yeah. Real Madrid at home to Man City. That is a cracker. That's on Wednesday. So we'll talk about that as well. Leverkusen, Newcastle, and what have you. But listen, look, I'm not a very happy man because in midweek, look, of all the results, a lot of them looked very routine. Man City with a crazy scoreline victory against Fulham. Liverpool draw. But the game I really want to talk about, Danny, is Chelsea away to Leeds United.
World champions.
Barcelona beat us.
Arsenal
Drawers with 10 men. You cannot beat Leeds. Leeds were 18th on the table. They had gone 4 games with 4 defeats.
Yes. 4-match losing streak.
And then they come up against Chelsea.
World champions.
Look, DK, I don't understand. How do you go from that performance against Barcelona to that performance against Arsenal with 10 men to that performance on Wednesday night against Leeds United? I don't understand. Enzo Maresca, I don't understand Chelsea. Like, of all the so-called minnows or smaller teams this season, he has struggled. And the whole rotation, I understand the concept of rotation. I don't understand the reasoning behind the players that have been used for the rotation. Look, I understand that Reece James cannot play every game. I understand Fofana cannot play every game. I get it. But there are other options that if Maresca wanted to rotate, there's some decisions that he should make that would make sense to me. Forgive my rant, but I'm really upset.
Oh, feel free.
Because honestly, my issue number 1, Tosin Adarabiu.
Oluwatosin.
This guy has been costing Chelsea this season, all of this season. I don't know what is wrong with him, but he's been costing Chelsea. Do you know that, Danny K, that the whole season, Ajax have scored 1 goal in the Champions League?
Tosin.
Gave away a penalty.
Tosin.
They converted. Against Sunderland, he made an error directly leading to goal. And then on Wednesday night, they have passed you the ball. If you cannot control and pass the ball,
break and pass.
If you cannot break and pass, boom, it's an option.
Beam Nation.
Instead, what did he do? He tried to trap the ball, miscontrolled it.
You know what it's called? Tracking and getting free.
And
You see, look,
Free tracking.
I saw a stat that is very worrying. And this is not me picking on a player.
Touch him on Douala! Touch him!
Coach, calm down.
An agreement?
What is
It's an agreement.
What is the...
On the Mayhos, all your nullify all his introduction. Touch it.
Come and sit down here.
Touch it, man.
Come and sit here.
Touch him, man.
An agreement is an agreement.
Douala!
Hello, viewers. This is Coach Nimley in the hot seat. Coach Nimley in the hot seat. This is Malam Go podcast.
Malam Go!
Yayi.
Ow!
Chale na zoa.
Ow!
Menene.
Oh, Chale!
Ina zoa.
Oh, Chale!
Menene.
Oh, Chale!
Ina zoa.
Oh, Chale!
Tashimana. Oh, tree. Where's it there?
I saw!
This is the correct introduction to it.
Correct!
Listen, viewers, and watch me clearly.
Watch him clearly.
Today,
Oh, Chale!
this is the Malam Go.
Oh, Malam Go!
The originator of Come
Malam Go! Oh, Chale!
The original Malam.
The original Malam. Whatever Malam program, it happened.
I saw!
Oh, I'm the oracle. The original Malam has come. Look, today we will dissect and bisect. The Nicodemus attitude of Chelsea. Oh, Chale. I'm a team.
Oh, Chale!
When they see Barcelona, they
Ajatim.
I saw!
Daniel Farker.
Daniel
Farker is the topmost coach. Daniel Farker. Tactically brilliant. Quick. Hey. Tactics.
Daniel what?
Farker. That is the coach of Leeds United. Thank you, Mr. Farker.
What did Daniel Fark do to Chelsea?
Oh. Now, today,
Oh, Chale!
sitting in the hot seat.
In the hot seat.
We will look at the midweek Premier League action.
Oh, no, we can skip that and go and talk about Champions
Don't
League.
tell me what to do.
Don't tell him what to do.
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't tell him what to
Sit
do.
here. You have monopolized the program. Today, the program belongs to me. I am the host. Look, I've been following all your tweets on X. You've waited for today. Today, I have come.
Quick.
So we'll look at what actually went through the brain of Maresca. What actually went? I can't take madness. I can't take fire. Mr. Maresca, I can't take madness. I can't take fire. From a defender holding the waist of Mr. Broby to a free Salaka defender. Tosin Aderobio, Oluwagbemito. Oh my goodness, Oluwagbemito. Tosin Aderobio. He's the topmost defender in Chelsea.
What do you mean he's the topmost defender in Chelsea?
Once he's around, there's smoothness, there's discipline, there's orderliness, there's control at the back of Chelsea. So we'll dissect the importance of Tosin Oluwagbemito Aderobio. We'll look at him today. DK, be serious. I'm not the show. Then from there, we'll look at that Man City Fulham madness.
Ask me the question.
You don't determine when. You keep calm. You see,
What kind of autocratic host is this?
sit in your seat.
Sit in your seat. Sit.
When I hosted the show, this is not what I did. I know how I
Introducing
behave.
the program.
What are you doing?
You have introduced one topic like the
Then-
first.
Don't disrupt.
So after me hosting this one, then I'll hand over to the so-called host for today, the part-time host. He will come and talk about the Champions League, and I'll go and sit in my seat and do the Champions League. So look, DK, in fact, I want to start from you.
Super.
Why DK? Start from your right.
You don't determine where I
You
start
don't determine where he
You are not the host today.
I decide when and how you talk.
When and how you
Pay
talk.
attention.
When
Now,
and
You
how?
people, but why am I even
what
sitting
is
here
this?
alone?
You are spoiling the program. Why? Sit there. Cool. You see,
Coach, give me 1 minute.
no minute.
No minutes.
Please, I am in charge. No minute.
1 minute.
No minute. You bash. That is the word. Bashing. Breaking crowns. Passamoshi. When I say back,
1
do this,
minute.
I mean, you should lean back.
Passamoshi.
Passamoshi.
And
Now go
relax.
there. Now, DK, in Midweek, in fact, just yesterday, after beating Barcelona, after comparing Esteval to Lamine Yamal,
Yamal.
and trying to get everybody to understand that this Chelsea team has arrived. We saw them 10 against 11 against Arsenal in midweek,
Yes.
where I believe they were very brilliant. What actually happened yesterday? I want you to dissect and bisect and transect the intestine and the brains of Mr. Maresca to find out exactly what his thinking were. Look at the team sheet.
A shock.
You have Chaloba at right
Right
back.
back.
I've never seen him play right. Maybe in the back three, it makes sense. Then you have what's the Tosin Olugbemi Odorabiarayo at center back. Oluwagbemi Odalabiarayo.
That's not his name.
You don't tell me how to pronounce his name. He's Tosin Aderabio.
What kind of host is this? That cannot be corrected.
So then he had a Badil Shield. Badil Shield.
AKA violation.
That's not his name.
AKA violation. Badil Shield. Then
Benoit Bediashile.
At least, viewers, don't you know the man I'm talking about? Badil Shield. Then at left back, which player was that?
Kuku was there.
Kukorea.
Yes.
Kukurudu. He's very effective. That's why him no shaking.
Then Jamie Gittins.
Then Jamie Gittins. Oh yeah, but hey, what I
Onyazi.
50s Onyazi. And that was sacrum. You know what you do 15 Gittins. Hey, and when you have break, you want to score Gittins. Gittins.
And the lap.
Then, oh Charlie, that guy there, I thank my Christ. Oh, yo was about.
Oh, yo.
It was in Manchester United have been look at the lap. He had the guts to choose. Thank God he made the right choice.
A shock. He should be there.
Ruby, Lillian Delap.
Liam Delap.
Liam Delap. So he's trying.
Is this a troll show or we are
It's a show.
objectively?
I am objectively giving him the Chelsea lineup so that we look at where the deficiency came from.
Yes.
So he had
DK has access to
João
the
Pedro.
lineup.
I don't know that.
João Pedro. Then in midfield, there was Enzo. Then there was the small Brazilian boy.
Santos.
They want everybody to know that what actually went into the thinking of Maresca. I want you to dissect and bisect and interest everything for me.
Coach, give me 1 minute.
Beshinimo. Look, viewers, this is Fentio Tahiru Fentio. Highly uncomfortable in the seat he finds himself. But I'm hosting only the Chelsea session for them. Let's go, my friend.
Coach. Look, to be frank,
If you said to be frank one more time.
To be honestly frank.
Yes. To be honestly, sincerely frank.
Ooh, super.
Now go there.
Thank you.
Why are you sitting next to Coach? Why don't you sit at your original seat?
Stop spoiling the show. Behave like a guest.
Let's go.
Coach, if you see, mentality is very easy.
That's right.
For any football team to turn up against big opposition.
Of course. We see it here in Ghana.
Great
Great Olympics.
When Haas
they are-
and Kotoko are coming to time,
Gig.
it happens all the time.
That's right.
The true
Coach, why are
test,
you adding something to what
the
he's
true
saying?
test of a good team
That's right.
is consistency.
That's right.
So you can't sleep and then wake up against Barcelona, draw against Arsenal. Then when you meet your level, you go and lose and tell me that you are a serious team. You can't be serious
At all.
Now, if they come and complain about the rotation, Coach, we all saw Arsenal during the midweek.
Yes.
The same time Chelsea was playing Arsenal.
That's right.
They also did wholesale
Rotation.
There are some people who are training in Chelsea's academy, senior players who are training there. The ones that Chelsea and their manager and their board deem not good enough are there. The ones who are good enough are
On the pitch.
on the pitch. So Tosin Oluwagbemi Odarabio is good enough
To be on the pitch.
to be on the pitch.
From holding the waist
I
of
saw.
Robe against Sunderland.
Chale.
Or it's a pass. Me, Akoyatsa. Kasamami.
Kuku is a solid player.
Yeah, that's for him.
Adarabio is a solid player.
Yes.
Badiel Shiro.
Oh, no.
Badiel Shiro came with his friend Disasi. Disasi is now training at the back.
How?
Badiel Shiro is there.
He's in the team.
It means they see that he's good enough.
He's good enough.
Andre Santos, they tell us.
That.
We didn't say it too.
No.
They are the ones who tell us.
That's right.
That Andre Santos is a top midfielder.
Top midfielder.
So if you pair Andre Santos and Enzo Fernandez, another top midfielder,
Of course.
you can't tell me that it's substandard.
Alongside a World Cup winner.
I saw
Look at the Leeds United midfield.
Tanaka
Tanaka.
against Ghana self, he was on bench.
We saw him.
Tanaka. You know they sit up.
That's right.
Coach, you look at João Pedro.
It's a
Another
fantastic program.
a super fantastic
That's right.
goal. Another top striker.
Oh, child.
João
We saw him
Pedro.
at the World Cup.
We saw him.
Scoring with ease.
With cheeky ease.
no more.
We saw him. And when he was coming, they said he was a solution to their problem. Then they have Delap. Two top class strikers, according to them.
One
So-
Englishman, one
One
Brazilian.
Brazilian.
Look at the
Balance.
combo. Look at the combo.
I saw.
Look at the combo.
So, if you are away against a newly promoted side,
Who have just lost 4 in the
they
row.
are addicted to losing.
Of course.
They know how to lose.
That's right.
They don't understand what it means to win.
That's right.
And you are beating Spanish champions. You are beating you are everybody's home. You are beating Europa League champions. You are beating Spanish champions. You are beating European champions.
With 10 men, you are
With
drawing
10 men,
against the best
the
team
best
in
team.
Europe at the moment.
Massa. And you can't turn up in such a game.
Mhm.
And it's becoming a recurring fixture.
Yes.
Sunderland at home, you know they sit up. Brighton at home, you know they sit up. So when you are meeting teams that on paper you are supposed to beat, you can't beat. But when it comes to the big boys, that one you know how to
show
turn
up.
up. That doesn't show you a good team.
At all.
Because any team, it is the easiest thing to do to motivate a player for a big match.
That's
The
all.
coach doesn't even talk. Look at Barcelona. They think they are better than you. Go and show them they are not better.
That's all.
Full stop. That's all. But when you have to go and impose yourself on the game, then it becomes an issue.
That's right.
Maresca too, sometimes
Our problem.
small. Because when you see Tosin struggling
How?
throughout the whole season,
Aderobio.
oh,
Oluto. Olubimito.
Tosin is struggling. Badel Shield
Badel Shield.
has been struggling for like 2
Throughout.
years.
2 years.
Why do you pair them in a game like this?
In fact, when I saw that yesterday, it was shocking to me.
Use one. If you want one, they have to play. Use one and then use a more seasoned.
But we saw Badel Shield and Achampo against Liverpool. Do you remember?
Yes.
That was the starting center pair. And we saw how Achampo, young boy
was doing the do. But you see, Achampo, no. I prefer him starting alongside a senior
experienced center back.
So, play Gusto at right back.
Yes.
Shift Chaluba.
Because he was not injured. He was just put on the bench.
Then that way, you are resting Fofana.
That's right.
Then the next game, you can play Fofana, play a Champon again. And then if you like, you can even push Chaluba to right back.
That's right.
That one, you've rested 2 key players in your back line.
That's right.
You've had enough rest and then you can move. Because Chelsea are playing a number of games in
very difficult
games and quick and fast. So rotation is necessary.
It's very necessary.
But when you have players who are struggling for confidence, that's why I don't blame Oluwagbemito this thing. I don't blame
Tosin.
Tosin is playing like he's afraid.
Yes.
This man said it himself. If Tosin is playing like he's afraid, but Yashil has been afraid to, he doesn't want them to pass him the ball. Why are you putting them together?
Two shaky players.
Two shaky
defenders.
A recipe for a shaky result. So at the end of the day, I blame Maresca.
Yes.
But then again, he's the best manager in the world, according to them.
Of course.
Yeah,
so they say.
He's the best manager.
So they say.
Those people.
I blame him, but who am I to blame him? I've not done my coaching budget. I can't question the best manager in the world. He knows why he went to lose.
That's right.
Against Leeds. And more of these results will come.
Yes.
More like this will come. Because when we look at this Chelsea team, we've now realized that they are loud. Mm-hmm. But the team is not as strong. The unit is not as strong.
That's right.
There are some individuals who are good. And if you take those individuals away from the equation, they can't function.
Sure.
Look at Arsenal. Mm-hmm. They played 35 minutes. Mosquera, another injury. Timber came in. Like, Timber is now playing with him, Campy. They've never played centre back before.
But the understanding is there.
That is a team. That is coaching. How old is the project?
This Chelsea project.
4 years or 3.5?
Almost
4 years.
Almost 4 years now.
Maresca is in his second season.
We don't care about Maresca. We said
it's the
project.
entire project.
It's the entire project.
The project didn't start with Maresca. Your phone. Let's go. You are saying your phone. Let's go.
So yes, the project in this what? 3rd, 4th year. Mm-hmm. And we are still struggling to find proper cohesion and consistency towards the title. Mm-hmm. As for caps and things, it's been in Chelsea's DNA. Chelsea know how you can win cap one off when it comes back. You saw Ten Hag win 2 caps in 2 seasons.
No, Nyazi.
The
ultimate caps.
Simple. So as for cap, you can win. But the true measure of your growth is in the league.
That's right.
And if you are not showing the consistency, then there's a serious problem. After 4 years, serious problem. You are losing against Sunderland. You are losing against Leeds. But when the big boys show up, all of a sudden you know how to play football.
We can't play.
There's a problem somewhere.
Look, now let me come to you. It is your team. From your own perspective of the understanding.
One could say was it?
What Never there can be a can. What? I want you to think for Maresca. What at all was he thinking about when he presented the team he presented yesterday? And tactically, what did he wanted them to do as a team that they didn't do well, and what actually caused their defeat?
You see,
I've not seen anything. You tell me what I've not seen anything. You speak.
Maresca is the reason I'm on this seat.
No, but you do your bets.
Enzo Maresca is the reason I am on this seat and not on my regular seat. Look, see, I had come here. Look, I was very upset yesterday. I'll be honest with you. Not necessarily because Chelsea lost. Defeats can happen. It's a league. As Pep Guardiola said yesterday, he said the Premier League is very long. So
Extremely long.
So defeats can happen. The problem is the nature of those defeats. Look, I think Daniel is absolutely spot on when it comes to the team selection analysis. So I don't want to repeat too much.
That's right.
In that aspect. But even in respect of the attitude and application, granted, the players that play on a normal day will not be deemed Maresca's first 11. That's true. But I think the players that were chosen on the day, they let themselves down. And
Is
I
it the
think
entire playing body or specific?
everybody. And I think going forward, Maresca has to make a decision as to whether or not the rotation is worth it. And if he's going to rotate, there must be a particular group of players that will constantly fit into that rotation.
Will Raheem Sterling fit that?
Raheem Sterling will not fit. Coach.
Why? He's on £350,000 a week.
Yes, he's enjoying it.
He should chop free money.
He's already been chopping free money for the past.
He's
He's
been
been
the
doing
money.
it for the past 4 months. He can continue enjoying. No problem. Money is not a problem. Clearly has money. Yeah, clearly
Money no be
has
problem.
money. But listen, I honestly think that there is a certain culture of a very lackadaisical and acceptance of mediocrity that has crept into this Chelsea team. And it starts with the manager.
Just because they lost one game.
Not just because they lost one game. By losing this one game, Chelsea has lost a lot of grounds in the title race. And not just by the points, but also by momentum and by certain belief. Because winning builds a certain culture.
So you believe this Chelsea team can go all the way to win the league?
After this defeat, I don't think so.
You're proud to that?
I thought so.
Okay, go ahead.
Because when performances against Barcelona in the Champions League and what they did against Arsenal, I've seen them in other top games against Liverpool. They showed enormous character. And even in games where they haven't necessarily played too well, like against Burnley, they still found a way to grind out a victory.
Okay.
And the Wednesday game was another really good opportunity for them to get the win. And look, even though Chelsea conceded those 2 goals, in the second half, when the changes happened, there was real momentum and a real sense of belief that Chelsea could actually go on and equalize and potentially go for the win. Because up until the point when Pedro Neto scored that goal, from that point until they conceded the second goal, Leeds United did not get the ball.
Until they conceded the
third goal. Sorry. The third goal. Chelsea were on top, and they looked like they played with belief.
But don't be confused. Stay on track.
No problem. And they had real belief.
That's right.
That they could go on to win the game. Then the third goal happened. And you see, individual mistakes can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So look, I don't want to be too hard on Torsen. Because individuals...
he's a fantastic defender.
No, hold on. I'm coming. When I say I don't want to be too hard on him, I'm trying to say that if it was just an individual error out of nowhere, I would be willing to forgive.
So that's an acceptable error?
If it happened one time, it happened. With some of the top defenders in the world, it happens. It can happen one time. But when it's happened over and over again in a very small number of games, then there's something fundamentally wrong with that player, either his confidence or his quality overall. And Torsen, this season alone, has demonstrated that there's something fundamentally wrong with him this season, or that he's simply not good enough mentally or even physically. This season alone, in Chelsea's last 8 matches, Torsen Adarabioyo has started 3 of them. In the last 8 matches, he started 3 of them. In the 3 games that he started, Chelsea have conceded 8 goals. In the 3 games with him, they've played, I said the last 8 games. Torsen has started 3 of them. In those 3 that he has started, Chelsea have conceded 8 goals. In the 8 goals that Chelsea have conceded, Torsen has been responsible directly for 3 of those goals.
Dang. So including that of yesterday.
Then you should start small.
Gave away a penalty against Ajax. They converted. So far, their only goal in the Champions
After that one, even top mode Maldini, Roberto Carlos, Cannavaro, they've all been giving penalties
Thank
away.
you.
So that one is you cannot say he was directly responsible.
And then the game against Sunderland. That one, what did he do? You demonstrate. What did
I
he
should
do?
demonstrate for you. You wake up and demonstrate. Stand up and let me use you to demonstrate.
He saw Broby,
Went to hold his waist.
stayed tight with him, tried to win the ball. He just stood there, put his balanced his head like this, held his weight, and was waiting for Broby to do whatever he wanted
Eventually
with the ball.
aided him to turn as if he was
And
squeezing.
then he set up
He
the
was
goal.
squeezing.
That is a direct error.
Or squeezing.
Broby to his back he's well endowed.
He's a very stout man.
Very endowed.
Hard waist.
What are you? What
squeezing?
is another man doing with another man's waist?
Now go there.
And then Wednesday night's match.
If you look at him yesterday,
Look, the pass may not have been great, but you have two options. One, trap, control, and pass to the goalkeeper. Or two, one time.
because he saw the danger.
He saw the danger,
He
you could
saw-
see.
he saw
But
the
if you
press
watch the replay, he momentarily took his eyes off the ball. So his fault miscontrolled the ball. And then when they won the ball and went to score, then he himself was now frustrated at who? I don't know. Was he blaming Gusto for passing to him? Or was he blaming Sanchez for not saving it? I didn't understand his frustration. Or was he frustrated by himself? So those are 3 goals that he alone has been involved in directly giving away in the last 8 matches. And guess what? In the 5 matches where Adarabeo did not start, Chelsea have conceded 1 goal. So, even if you say that the fact that Chelsea has conceded 8 goals in those 3 doesn't mean it's all his fault. I've given you an example where he alone, directly, not indirectly, contributed to 3 of those goals. So that's what. So there is not enough evidence that there is something fundamentally wrong with him. And for me, I feel like the biggest disappointment is the fact that there were actually better options on the bench. And Daniel is spot on.
So who do you blame for that? Is it the manager?
It's Enzo.
Why?
In that, he chose the player. The player didn't choose himself. He chose the player. And even when he decided to choose him, I don't think he provided the right conditions and right combinations for him to succeed. Because even if you wanted to rotate, I think Daniel mentioned it, I would play Chalobah. Chalobah has been, so far this season, it doesn't matter which other centre-back Chelsea has started this season. The only consistent first-choice centre-back this season for Chelsea has been Chalobah. Mm-hmm. So even if you are going to introduce a new centre-back, that centre-back should pair Chalobah. There was no reason to bench Gusto. Gusto doesn't have history of injuries. He doesn't have too much load on his legs. So why was he on the bench?
It's about rotation.
James, I understand. We know his issues. Gusto doesn't have the same problems. So it was a simple case of start Gusto, start a Champon, alongside Chalobah, Cucurella. Your back four is sorted. He didn't do that. So that was a missed opportunity. But even that, look, one thing I've discovered also is that every time Torsin starts the match, it creates too much uneasiness around all the other players, even the goalkeeper. There were instances after the mistake, and you could see that it was a lack of confidence in the player, where it was probably much easier to roll the ball out onto Torsin, who had space in front of him, but he would rather go long. Because he knows if he gives it to Torsin,
And at the press.
Torsin, there could be problem, or he would go back to his other centre-back partner. In fact, there was one moment where Torsin had the ball, and Palmer, his best friend Palmer, was standing to the right with in a very good Palmer position. That half space on the right-hand side. There might have been 2 players in between him, but there was space for him to thread that ball to Palmer. Instead, Torsin turns and then gives it to his centre-back partner. And for the next 5 seconds, all Palmer did was scream at Torsin and gesture to him like, why the heck didn't you give me the ball? Because once he went left, the left was overloaded. And then they worked the ball back onto the right-hand side. You've wasted crucial seconds in the game.
When all these things were going on, what was the coach doing? Because there are times where you've seen coaches virtually micromanage the way.
Yes, I think that, look, the reaction of the coach, for me, at the start of the second half was very good. The changes he made, because Estevao was on a yellow card, and to be fair, he has struggled to beat the Leeds left back all evening. And he kicked him out of frustration because he felt like there was a handball and he wasn't giving, and the kid was frustrated. But to be fair, even before that incident, he had struggled.
Yeah.
So he made the right change, took him out.
That's right. Especially when you have Neto on the bench.
And when Neto came, instant impact. Even Garnacho, in fact, his two substitutes were the best players on the pitch, in my opinion. Even Garnacho, he may have his issues, but when he came, he provided more danger than anything Bino Gittins had done the whole evening.
So who gave the assist to the goal?
Oh,
it's Gittins.
You see, yes,
a very fantastic assist.
It was a good assist, but bad assist. There was a problem. Let me tell you something. One of the reasons yesterday it was very difficult, and this is a tactical issue, for even Estevao to have a good game was because the right back that he played, Chaloba, couldn't overlap.
Yeah. So
Estevao literally didn't have any support, because for players to be able to effectively cut inside, they need to be that.
Especially those inverted wingers.
There has to be a runner in behind him, because then it gives the left back a certain dilemma. Am I going with the runner or am I following him inside?
Normally they'll follow the runner.
Good. Exactly. But yesterday, if you notice, every time Estevao had the ball and tried to cut infield, the left back was with him the whole time because there was no option being provided on the width.
And that is coaching.
It's a coaching matter. And that coaching issue boils down to the team selection.
Yeah.
So look, I say this. There are mentality issues also with Enzo Maresca. Because I think, and I listened to his post-match press conference, and he seemed to have normalized, and he said that performances like the ones we saw against Barcelona and against Arsenal, we can't see it every week.
That is factual.
It may be factual, but they have to be winning performances every week. That is also factual.
But look,
for every top team.
Just wait. From all that you have said,
yes,
it's like Leeds United didn't deserve or they don't deserve any credit.
No, look. To be fair, on the day, Leeds were the better team.
Exactly.
But I'm saying that the reason Leeds were better was simply because Chelsea had players in positions that they didn't excel, players that probably should not have started the game in the presence of better options, and then there was application issue. Because I didn't think that the Chelsea players pressed enough. There was simply not enough energy. They gave away the ball too cheaply.
Could it also be that Leeds United were playing their second game in 7 days? But Chelsea was playing their third game in 7 days.
Yes, but
could that be a factor?
But it could be. But there are other players. Look, that's why. Therefore, the rotation.
Yeah.
But there were some of them who were playing their first game in 10 days.
That's what I'm
saying. What did they do?
So you see, then.
But even coach, before you even let me make my last point. João Pedro
is a top Brazilian striker.
Yes.
We saw him at the World Club Championship.
Yes.
Has he become so bad overnight?
Actually, yes. That's the point I was going to make. But when was the last good game he had?
You tell me.
Players can lose. Yes, but players can lose form.
No,
and I'm saying
but what is the one of the last good game he had?
Yesterday.
Do you want me to answer that?
He started as a 10.
I'm the host.
Shifted to center forward.
You wait.
Came back to a 10.
When you ask me, when was the last good game here? You are expecting an answer from me? On the Chelsea player, João Pedro. You should know. So answer that question. When was the last time you had the best game?
I don't remember.
So now go ahead and proceed.
Proceed. I love this host. Very principled.
I think João Pedro, look, I think he's suffering from a confidence crisis at the moment.
But look, before
you see,
you wait. Historically, what was the man?
Like
that is who he is.
You see,
that's what he's always been.
He needs, I think he needs to cut out the excesses and focus on the most fundamental things.
Since when?
Which is shooting.
What are the excesses?
Boss, yesterday, Most of the instances here, you have the ball. How many touches of the ball do you want in the box before
that has
you can
always
take a
been-
shot?
That's his game. That's what I want you to understand.
This is when I came to the Club World Cup. That was not his game. That's not what I saw, and I said he will be top scorer this season.
No, but he was not shooting at the club.
Charlie, my
He was
brother.
tapping in and chipping.
Yes. So those are one touches. You see, 2 touches maximum. Look at the goals he scored at Club World Cup. They play him in one touch in, bam, go. The chip, Palmer, one touch over the top. But this one.
That was against PSG. This was against Leeds United.
So Leeds United deserves how many touches before he takes the shot?
You ask him, he answers that, not me. He answers that, not me. You are him. The two of you are in the same room. You are in the same team room. I should answer that.
I don't think Chelsea are going to win the league playing like this. Listen, I think Maresca is not a league winning coach. I saw him even at Leicester when he won the championship. He almost gave it away.
Almost.
So, what do you think?
He almost gave it away. So, Maresca, he needs to learn how to play championships. Because championships, the way you manage a long season in Pep Guardiola, and you see, there's a reason Pep Guardiola specifically mentioned Chelsea. When he was talking about the season is long, he said he has seen that Enzo Maresca has been impressed with what he's doing at Chelsea, but the season is long
one.
I think Arteta has learned that lesson. And to be fair to Enzo, he's a young coach. This is his 3rd season in top flight football as a manager.
Exactly.
This is Arteta's 6th season.
But did you guys know that?
And when Arteta first came, Arteta was also one of those managers that was excellent at cup competitions.
So when did the
and then he was found wanting in the league. So, what was Hasua?
I'm asking, did you guys all of a sudden forgot that this was his 3rd season when you were ranting that he was going to win the league?
We didn't say he was going to win the league.
Oh, you said he was going to win the
We
league.
said Chelsea were going to be competitive.
So competitive. Then don't rant over what happened yesterday. Then
I have to rant because the players need to hear.
Look,
they listen to Malam Go podcast.
you have said a lot about Chelsea.
Yes.
Let me give you just 2 minutes. What exactly did you see that Mr. Daniel Farker, the head coach, you didn't see it? Okay, Achu, I come to you. If he's refusing to see the obvious, Achu,
Yes, they moved the ball quicker.
I've left you.
They moved the ball.
When Hushe is accepted. Now,
You see, the truth is that
you said it.
I gave you the chance to speak on the matter.
Leeds were just a bit more determined. That was it. They wanted it more. Chelsea played like they didn't need the 3 points. They played like they could. I think that actually, I think they actually underrated Leeds United.
Was there an
honestly?
underrated?
They actually underrated Leeds United, and I think that's what contributed to this whole mess. Because if they look, to be fair to Leeds, look on the point of Leeds on a more serious note, if you watch Leeds United against Man City, they almost rescued the point.
Yeah.
Is Maresca and the
So
Chelsea
the performance
team,
was actually decent.
So is Maresca and the Chelsea team saying that Leeds haven't lost 4 in a row? If you look at the manner in which they lost their last game,
you could see that
against a very formidable Man City team.
You could see there was
Couldn't that
quality.
have informed
But that's
the
what I'm
Chelsea?
saying. It's part of the problem. Because and this is what feeds into the whole underration. I think it's because he underrated them. That's why he thought he could just put out any team and still run away with the victory. Honestly.
So
Because if he had a bit more respect for the opposition, he would think better about his team selection before he came up with the team.
I don't think
point well made.
I don't think he underrated.
Achu, point well made from Fenton.
I don't think he
Now,
underrated.
this is what I want you to do for me.
Right.
I think Daniel and Fent have actually spoken a lot about Chelsea. And I'm very certain that if I were to give you the chance to maybe you either repeat or say, if there are
A few different things.
new things to say
Yes.
about them,
A few
say
different things.
it and please credit Mr. Farker for me.
So Falca first. I think they moved the ball quicker.
That's right.
They also used the size of the pitch very well.
That's right.
So because the pitch, and Chelsea will, until something changes about this team, they will struggle when they go to venues like that.
That's right.
I'm going to read you quotes from John Terry.
Okay. go
And
ahead.
that's what I was looking
After
for.
the game?
Yeah, after the game.
After the game yesterday.
He said, everything I said about Leeds, they were going to be aggressive. Fans were going to be up for it. It was going to be a hostile place to go.
3.
So that is the first part.
That's the first part.
What I took from that, and its translation into the way Leeds
Played yesterday.
that aggression, being first to the ball, winning the second balls, fighting for every contest and trying to win possession, that energy came from the fans.
That's right.
Because when those clubs are playing the big boys, the fans are pumped for it.
Exactly.
And it's in December. That also translates into what they do with the ball when they have it. So a typical example is Newcastle United or Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp when they are playing at home. Each time they have the ball, the fans are demanding, get the ball forward. And so whether the Chelsea team is settled, whether the players are in positions where the space and the shape of the team is good enough to deal with that phase of the game, they don't care. They are moving the ball. Because they are not a patient team that wants to take 5-6 passes to one side and then wait to create overloads on one side or wait for that space to appear. No. The moment they have the ball, 1-2 passes, they are in the opponent's half. To deal with that, and now I go back to the second part of John Terry's speech. He says, you either go there and match them.
For intensity.
Match their intensity. Or you take the sting out of it completely.
Exactly.
And by the looks of it, we certainly didn't do that in the first half. That second part is what is damning on Chelsea. So Leeds did brilliantly. So the individual contest, Enzo did not have too much joy. If you look at the midfield, Andre Santos, who saw a lot of the ball, he's not the most creative player when he has it. Leeds didn't have to be creative.
That's right.
They compensated with that with intensity and purposefulness.
Hard work.
And so they will get into the half space. The pass will probably be poor, but they will try again.
That's right.
Because they had the wind in their sails. What Chelsea needed to do was either match their intensity, which I thought was not possible. Look, that game, the only way Chelsea could have matched their intensity is if the players were on drugs. Because look at the number of matches that they had played in the last couple of days. And the fixture pile-up of what is ahead of them. And as I go on, I will show you the number of matches they are going. And that is why no coach in his right sense would have asked his players to match that intensity.
Not at all.
Because they've got bigger fishes to fry ahead. So, for a game like this, what Chelsea could have done was to take the sting out of the game. Knock the ball around and frustrate them. Occasionally, go wide to your dribbler. Let him dribble 2 or 3 players. Win a foul. Calm down the game. And play it at your tempo. Because the time of the season, the fixture list means that you cannot expend too much energy in a game where you cannot go with your first team players.
Exactly.
So what Chelsea needed to do is the one thing that has failed them. What failed them in that game against Karabakh? What failed them in that game against Sunderland and last night? That is that inability to unlock deep blocks. Or teams that take the fight to them. If they have to knock the ball around them, draw rings around them, drag teams out of position with patient passing, this Chelsea team does not have it in them. And that's why you have not seen them do it all around the season. So they can find other solutions. But in games where the opponent has a mix of mid-block and intensity, they struggle. But I felt that one thing that could have helped him was the selection. And I agree with everything that they have said. But this selection issue is problematic because he would have to rotate 3 or 4 times in the next 3 weeks.
To enable them live.
To be able to cope. Because if you look at Chelsea's fixture list, the next match is on Saturday, 3 p.m., Bournemouth. 3 days later,
very difficult game.
3 days later, away at Atalanta, Champions League.
Difficult game.
4 days later, they are hosting Everton. Then 3 days later, Cardiff, EFL quarterfinal. Then 4 days later, Newcastle. Then a week later, Aston Villa at home. Then 3 days later, Bournemouth again, away. 4 days later, they are taking on Man City. That is 9 games in the next 30 days. So that rotation that Chelsea fans say they don't like it, no. The manager has no choice.
He has no choice.
He will do it willy-nilly.
Because of the number of games. You don't expect to see Rich James.
No.
And I have said that he's their best player on
Exactly.
form.
Yeah. And at the moment, Rhys James and Wesley Fofana are players he cannot afford to gamble with.
Not at all.
Their fitness conditions mean they cannot take on the workload of 3 games per week.
The records is there.
So yesterday he had to. But it was important that whoever was going to replace Fofana, you did not lose too much quality.
Exactly.
Because I didn't think he had to move both centre backs. Right. If Chaluba was going to play, then you might as well keep him
Pair him with
in
somebody
his preferred position.
for leadership.
Exactly. So he has got questions to answer. The final point for me is that you expect some players to assume responsibility. Look, Trent went there and didn't finish. I was looking at the numbers and they are not encouraging.
Wow.
Joao Pedro. See, I don't care about his profile and his style or whatever that he had before. In this Chelsea team, the team needs him to provide goals.
Exactly.
Especially in the absence of Cole Palmer.
You don't pay 50-something million.
He's played 14 Premier League games. He scored 3 goals. He scored 4 goals, 3 assists. 17 games in total in all competitions. 4 goals, 3 assists. He has 1 yellow card and 1 red card. Why? Then the other one who likes to fight, Liam Delap. 7 Premier League matches, no goal. 2 goals, 2 games in the Champions League, 1 goal. And then he's played 1 EFL Cup. So overall, 10 matches that he has played, he scored 1 goal. These are the things that create difficulties for managers. Because the thing is that around December, there is no time to coach
at all.
What the muscle memory that the team has built, everything that you've trained the team to do over the months,
that's what
is what will serve you well, because it doesn't make sense that they have to play 3 games in 8 days, 9 matches in 30 days, 28 days. But that is the reality of English football. So in December, everything that the tactical habits that the team has formed, and then players assuming responsibility. So going into this period is why you expect in the past, Drogba will chip in some 3 goals here. Lampard will give you some 4 goals here. They will spread the goal scoring responsibility. Solomon Kalou, this is the period that he earns his money.
Yeah.
In the context of this squad, this is the period where someone like Joao Pedro and then Liam Delap, especially because they have not been scoring up until now. If not now, Dabe.
They were blaming Nicholas Jackson. They say
I told them he was better than
if
this.
not now, when? Jackson has not been playing all the time, but he almost has more goals than these guys where he is. So that problem shows you a certain defect in the Chelsea recruitment, because I don't care whether the person is a striker or inside forward or winger or whatever classification we give him. Going into the new season, Chelsea needed goals. So whoever they were going to spend their money on ought to have been someone who guaranteed at least 10 goals. No, 10 goals by this time.
Sure.
And then maybe after January, then you are looking at another 10 goals in all competitions. Right? Because it is their first year.
Yeah.
If you have 3 or 4 of those players, or let's say even 3 players, chipping in 20 goals, those are title competing numbers. Because that is 60 goals across 3 players. Unfortunately, it has not happened for Chelsea. And as a result of that, Chelsea are stagnating. And it is not me saying it. I was looking at the numbers. Look, last season, by this time, after 14 games in the Premier League, Chelsea had 28 points.
I think they have how many points off? 3?
24.
So they are 3 and 4 points.
4 points off.
Yeah.
That's not progress. That's a stagnation. This is worrying for me because it is around this time last season that Chelsea lost steam. Except that it looks like this one is coming a bit earlier. Like the signs are showing a bit earlier.
Actually, let me ask you this.
You think what I think is that I think that on a good day, with the regular 14, 15 players that can be relied on or can be depended on, I think Chelsea actually have the capacity to go all the way.
But
maybe
that
not
is
necessarily.
practical
No,
impossible.
hold on, maybe not necessarily win the league.
That even
But
you
still,
can
Yeah,
use
but
that
no.
to
So
even-
I was just talking about the
Yeah.
fact that this whole slump and things
Yeah.
is happening.
No, is it-
Because I feel like the reason I'm so disappointed is that I feel like it's actually avoidable. Because unlike last season, when it was
The squad
reg-
was skint.
exactly.
Yeah.
So this season, he's actually got the capacity to go all the way. They've been league winning seasons. I think you all
friends,
agree. Where
much as we blame
coming.
they've been
Last
league
season was
winning
different.
season. No, they've
Last season, during midweek, Thursday night, it was in a completely
different
system.
squad.
So the league team was basically playing one
game a week.
no. That is also true. That's also true. But I'm saying they've been league winning campaigns where Chelsea has heavily relied, even with midweek action, where Chelsea have heavily relied
On the same group.
on the same group of like 15, 16
That's when they
players.
had no
And-
Champions League football.
No, that is Conte. But under Jose in 2015,
Yeah,
it was the
but-
same.
but
Jose,
those crop of
I
players
understand, but
were
I'm saying
not
that it's
only
been done
good,
before.
They were very experienced
Yes.
at the time.
I get you, but I'm saying that it's been done before.
Yeah, of course.
Where
But you see, the current group,
Actually, please, just before you, I want to ask you: could Caicedo, could
I
his
think he was
presence
missed. Yeah.
had made a difference?
not
Just
necessarily.
suck it into your point.
Not necessarily.
I mean,
He's their most important player. In a game like that, obviously they would miss him. But as I was saying, and as I established in the beginning, the needs of this game were very unique. Being aggressive was not going to be enough. If Caicedo still plays, maybe they get a point in that game.
Maybe he break out the Leeds United attack better. He
Yes,
get them
but
to
I'm
transit
saying that.
better.
I'm saying that. I use John Terry because I will trust his more judgments than mine.
Of course.
And his reading of such games is that you cannot go and fight their intensity around this time, not in December.
So
If the game is probably happening in late November, mid-November, or after that fixture, the coach can prepare the team and say, let's go and match them.
Yeah.
And then our quality will give us the difference.
That's right.
That game, you probably don't even talk tactics. You just want to neutralize them.
1v1,
And then let your quality do. But with everything that is going, now there's no rest. On Saturday, 3 p.m., the team is still going to play again. So he's probably going to get Caicedo back. But apart from what the manager himself
Does he
needs-
come back this weekend?
No, he's going to make
They
because
missed this one then.
yes. Apart from what the manager himself needs to fix, some of those players they've signed need to step it up because we cannot be in December and then your striker doesn't have 5 goals. Both of your strikers don't have 5 goals. The wingers you signed, the same. As for Estevao, I'll cut him some slack. He's a kid. He's been thrown into the deep. He needs time to get used to the Premier League because even in Brazil, I don't think they were playing this many number of games within a month.
At this intensity.
But unfortunately, the coach may be forced to play him in almost each of these games because they need the results. The fear I have is that this is getting very close to the same form last season that cost them their spot in the championship race. Because after December 21, that was it. They were top of the league. After December 21, that was the end of Chelsea's title ambitions. The signings they made were done with the view that those players will provide what the team lost in the last 6 months or the last 5 months of the season. But we're not seeing that.
at all. Okay. This is what I think. I think that, in fact, I agree with everything you guys have said. But one thing that in my view was so obvious was the lack of fitness of the new players who came in to players like Badelshi, Tosin, and those guys. Those two in particular. There were moments in the game where, several moments, in fact, when Chelsea were on the ascendant, you expected the two of them to push up. But they never pushed up. And there was that huge gap between the midfield and I was asking myself, Maresca should have seen that to get them. Look, where you go? Just push up. Because from the way Leeds were playing, what we clearly saw was that whenever they won the ball and there was that huge gap, you can see the Japan boy and they just drove through the gap and virtually exposed the entire Chelsea setup. The man will have to rotate, no two ways about that. But in the rotation, I think he needs to be smart in doing that. There's a way to rotate. You don't rotate for the sake of rotation. You must rotate with the intention that it will not, first of all, weaken your team. It will get your team to be very, very competitive. Like Fentio said, was there the need to rotate? But if you rotated Malo Gusto, why did you keep Cucurella on the pitch? The two of them, who has played the most games?
Coco.
Yeah. So I agree that the rotation, yes, but I think
the choice of players
was very, very wrong.
Yeah.
Gusto, Cucurella, Chaluba in midfield, Chaluba in centre back, and then Achampo closer to him. That, in my view, would have been a smart rotation of only a very good young player who has been sandwiched in between or among experienced guys, and they will guide his progress. In midfield, once Latvia has been injured all season, it's clear that once Caicedo is not there, the obvious pick were the one he picked.
Andre Santos.
They just couldn't live.
But where is Isugu?
He was injured.
He's also
So
injured.
yeah, he's been, I think, back training last week, but he had been injured.
He's been injured. So those were the two players where I completely had problems with. Were the two guys leading the attack. As for the lap, he's completely forgotten how to play football. He thinks
This
that
Antoka fighting.
he just want to
Like Hoyland.
It's about getting my physical presence. You see, you cannot be engaged in the physical battle and forget about the round object. And you watch him, that is all he's about.
Hoyland.
He's more interested in winning physical battles
Than playing football. And look at who he was playing with. I think he was the genuine reason why João Pedro at times held on to the ball too many times. Because when João Pedro picked up the ball, you expect the two of them to combine.
Yeah.
But this guy, I don't know how he does that. Virtually presents himself to the defenders. That here I am. Mark me.
He loves to occupy the defender.
I don't get it.
Yeah, every time the ball got to him,
I think
There was a defender. There were moments where the moment your strike partner picks up the ball,
you drop
free yourself.
Yes.
But he never did that. His off the ball movement was completely non-existent. And I was asking myself, wow. Even when Gittins and then Estaval picked up the ball, he was still in front of the defenders. And I was asking myself, where is the striker's movement? Where is the movement? Because you suspect that he'll be very good in the air. And therefore, if you can move a bit, get the defenders not to, because once the defender know you are in front of him,
Safe.
the ball is already defended. Because they are going to hit the ball. But once you begin to move, he's going to keep his eye on the ball and look at where you are. One of them, like we've seen almost all the time, defenders don't like defending that. So there were Chelsea's inability to win the game or to even get a point from the game. I think it was accumulation of a lot of things. And like you've all said, I put it solely on the coach. Was the rotation a necessary one? Yes. But it wasn't done in a smart, intelligent way. Going forward, look at how many games. 9 games in what? 1 month.
days.
In 28 days. Look at the opposition. The Champions League is played at a different intensity to the Premiership. But whether you like it or not, you cannot go, come, and not have a toll on you. It will definitely show. I don't want to see Rich James get injured because I think he'll be a huge miss for England if they don't take him to the World Cup. I'm praying that boy does not get injured. And the best way to make sure he doesn't get injured is to manage the games he plays. Maybe the coming back of Kopama will calm them down a bit. Again, I think if Kopama was a bit fit, that is, if he had played enough games to have gotten into the match game rhythm, the player that could have taken the steam out of whatever Leeds was doing yesterday, or that could have been Palmer. But he also
Coach, I
came.
have a question though,
Go ahead.
on Rhys James. Given the way Chelsea set up and the role they've asked him to play, which one gives him more stress? Playing the right back position or in the current midfield?
I think when he plays at right back, because he's expected to do this,
it's far more
more
demanding.
In midfield, I mean, he's surrounded with Enzo, so they can demarcate. This is yours, this is mine, that is yours. And if you see the three of them, the way they go about that, it's like there's less stress. Although you want to see them blocking the space and putting the attack, but it is not the same as running
constantly moving.
And maybe
Even I suspect that, for example, if the game against Arsenal was played with the three midfielders until the end, Reece James wouldn't probably have accumulated as much distance as he covered.
as he did.
Oh, of course.
Because,
Of course. Because of the red card.
Exactly.
That was why he had to cover that sort of ground. He
So
did.
his rest was very, very necessary.
The only thing that he shouldn't have rested Malo Gusto. And I think on the right, Chelsea had a lot. Like Fent said, Chalobah never gave Esteval any option whatsoever. And if you look at the way the Leeds United left fullback was so close, that even whenever he went past him, there was a covering defender.
He couldn't even go past him.
And that, in my view,
Because by the time he received the ball, he did, but he was
very, very close.
because there was no
Could
other.
you say he was the Leeds United left back is learning from Cucurella?
I absolutely
Because
agree.
Cucurella have shown that
That's how to
if
defend.
you stay tight,
Yeah.
It's be difficult for
you're
him.
he
most
was-
likely to
No
because
breathing space.
players like
Even-
Esteval, Lamine Yamal, Saka, when you allow them
They
to
need
turn and
space,
face
Oh,
you,
yeah, you are in trouble.
you are in big trouble.
Even
So
coach, even the first goal and the time they scored, 5 minutes into the match
Chelsea didn't start the game well
at all. There was no energy.
Yeah,
That is
Yeah,
where your point of day underrating Leeds United.
Yeah.
Because Leeds, the moment the whistle went, bam!
They were up
Just
for
to
it.
come
Even the marking was suspect. It was Bino Gittins who picked him.
Yeah.
Then he saw him run and he just did this and left
You see,
him.
those players like Gittins should not be put on defending
Sure.
responsibility.
I remember the
that's what I
second
don't
corner.
understand.
Remember the second corner after that, it was João Pedro who was marking.
Yes. Because that is, you see, I don't know. These are the reason why video analysts and co are paid.
Yeah.
Because on set piece,
You identify the
you
biggest
identify
threats.
the target.
Because
Then
it was
you
a
saw the
thumping
way
header.
Chelsea defended the set piece against us. That is the way I've always called for teams to defend. When Arsenal throw those guys to the far
You match
post,
them with their
go and match them. Don't allow them to move
make a
in
run.
freely and come and block the goalkeeper for one of them to come and head the ball. But look at what Chelsea did. Whenever the guys went back, Chelsea had markers on all of them.
Yeah.
Block their free movement into the box. Once you block their free movement, nobody goes closer to your goalkeeper. He can time the trajectory of the ball
Simple.
and then come and
Claim
pick
it.
the ball.
It's
And we
very
saw
funny, coach.
how effective
Yeah,
that
it's
was.
very funny how football works because honestly, look, we yes, we blame Enzo Maresca for his team selection, the players' attitude, whatever. But sometimes when individual errors like that happen, it's really
You don't
demoralizing.
blame the coach.
Like,
Like that.
it's demoralizing because you see, like, it was so obvious that after Chelsea scored the one goal,
I mean, they had the
if you
momentum.
look at the Palmer chance,
Yeah. The one that
the
Garnacho.
cutback from Garnacho. I mean, but the moment the third goal went in, it was like,
silver game over.
Game over.
Psychologically, it is sort of brain damaging. We were there. We had everything on our favor. And then, so, viewers,
against Bournemouth next, it's not going to be easy either.
you lose. You lose. Viewers, I told this man that the day Chelsea will lose, I will host the pro. So going forward, if you look at the way I've hosted
Don't
the
say
show,
every time.
listen now. Going forward, do you like to see more of this? Oh, Charlie.
Every time Chelsea lose.
If you think you love to see more of this, pass your comments. Pass your comment. And the more comments we have, surely, but the Chelsea supporters, don't go and hijack the comments. Because I know that you can Nicodemously go and hijack the, no, we don't want, no, we don't. You want. You know you want. They want. So now you can come and sit. Or drink. Come and sit and let's do Champions League. Sit down.
Almost started match.
Coach, you've done a good job at hosting. Fantastic. Well done.
How uncomfortable was that for the
Very
Chelsea man?
uncomfortable. So Chelsea, don't lose again. I
Today,
beg.
at least you had a chance to speak your mind to Maresca.
Before we go
Charlie,
to,
I want charger.
before we go to,
Is that type C?
Yeah, type C.
yeah. Before we go to other things, I want quick comments
Coach,
on the
really?
other Premier League matches. Man City against Fulham. What a
Yeah,
chaotic game.
Let's
Coach, quick thoughts on that briefly.
Oh, you see, I don't know.
Chukwueze.
I don't know, but look, Man City,
Something's wrong with them, eh?
I don't know. They can only win the league if Arsenal allow them to win the league.
It's Arsenal's to lose.
Yeah, it's theirs to lose. I've said that Arsenal win the league. If they don't win it, Arteta should be sacked. No amount of explanation, no degree, anything.
That one, I agree with you.
Nothing will save him.
What
If
if
you look at
he
this-
doesn't win the league and he wins the Champions League?
No, at this stage.
Oh, yeah, that's what the champion. If he wins the Champions League, Holy Grail.
I don't think is it the Champions League is a title.
Oh, that one they actually
never
have
won
never
before.
even a question.
Before, yeah.
Holy Grail.
It's a title they've never won.
Yeah.
So maybe that he could use that to. But I think it is too early for a team that has never won the Champions League, although playing well, although topping the Champions League group, for us to conclude that they win it. So I don't even want to go there. They've won the league before, and I believe they have what it takes to win the league. I think they are the best team in the land. The foundation they've got is solid. On the case of Man City, or in the case of Man City, friend, look, you cannot be this open when you say you are a top team. It's unacceptable. Pep, we saw in 2 weeks, they've played 4 games. They've lost 2. It was the back-to-back defeat. And then they've won 2. The point I'm making is that this is not a Pep Guardiola way of doing it.
Yeah.
You saw him when he went to the post-match conference. He was telling the guys, you
enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it? But you can clearly see that he was being sarcastic.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't like that. I said, no manager will like that.
Of course.
You want to be, and look, but for the clearance on the goal line,
It was 5-5.
That
it
was
was
him.
5-5.
That was him.
And I told myself that, hey, this is unacceptable.
Yeah.
I would rather prefer to lose against 10 men than to take a 5-1 lead and get it
That's
cancelled
crazy.
out.
That's a huge lead. Though.
Huge lead.
5-1.
In football, that's a
How does
huge
the
lead.
game end 5-4?
When your
We're
opponent,
begging for the final whistle.
exactly, with the quality you've got and your opponent were just coming at you, nobody in this team could have taken the ball and then calm everybody and go and punish. Because Fulham were just there for the taking.
The whole Man City.
The whole Man City couldn't do that. I was shocked. But I spoke to one of my bosses and he said, the EPL as a league missed such games.
Yeah.
Because in years past, almost every season or every other season,
At 5-1.
you were guaranteed something like
Something like
this.
that, yeah.
It's something that the coaches have looked at and they've improved upon and they've stopped it from
Have you
happening.
also noticed that those kinds of games are midweek?
Midweek
Yes,
produces playing.
yes.
Yes.
Plenty of such. Plenty of
Midweek,
such.
they like those
So-
pass.
So for the neutrals, they will accept it.
Yeah.
But for someone like me, I look at this. I was happy for Marcus Silva. The thing that mentally, some other teams would have dropped heads.
Yeah.
5-1 against City. Come on, let's just. They couldn't wait for the game to end. But rather,
It was City
all
were
the
begging.
changes he made
Yeah.
as a coach was
And
to
the
get his
timing of
team-
the changes.
were to
timing.
get his team to go and see whether they can bring some pride and dignity to whatever they are.
And they did.
And they did exactly that. So for the neutrals, it was a spectacle. But for we, the tactical and technical men, I
Okay.
didn't enjoy it.
Quick comment on Arsenal. You were complaining about, you mentioned earlier about the injury situation. Even Declan Rice also had to leave early because of some muscle. He's played a lot of football.
Yeah.
I was reading somewhere that the
Arteta
past
will have
3
to
seasons
manage
or
it.
so, he's missed like 3 games, something like that. It's crazy.
He's a machine, though.
Yeah, it's a crazy amount of games he's played.
so good and so important to what they do. You
That it's
can't
hard to bench him
It's
or drop
very
him.
difficult to bench him. But I liked what Arteta did. If there's a need to rotate, it's these sort of games you do it.
Exactly.
At home against Brentford, he knew it wasn't going to be a walk in the park. He knew they'll have to work for it. But it was very essential that he did it. Especially when you look at the injuries they are suffering.
Yeah.
Especially in defense. It's crazy. Now Mosquera is injured. If an injury happens at right back, Arsenal are in serious trouble.
Yeah.
Because now everybody, Asa, Right back is Ben White. Timber is playing centre back with
back.
Hincampie. And then Calafiori. And the only one on the bench is
Skelly.
Who is a left back.
Who is not a
Natural left
a
back.
natural. So even
But
if
he can even do a job there.
He
But
can
at
do a
the
job.
right,
At the
there,
right,
there's
it's
nobody.
trouble.
Audio top.
it's trouble. So it's looking very, very dicey for Arsenal now. The thing is, they are still winning. That's what makes it so impressive.
Yeah.
The fact that they are still winning and they are keeping clean sheets too.
Yeah.
When you have this number of injuries to your team, it should disrupt how your team, the organization, the
chemistry.
structure, the chemistry. But it's not doing that.
Yeah.
They are still playing their game, albeit struggling a bit, especially offensively yesterday. They didn't look as creative. But again, it's also down to the personnel. Madueke is very frustrating. Hey,
Now
You
you
know-
understand Chelsea fans, right?
it's true. Because at Chelsea, I was watching him without emotion.
Yeah.
But
That
at
was their
Arsenal-
main frustration with
Yes,
him.
yeah.
He's very selfish.
Look, if he wants to, he can.
Yeah.
Those kind of players. But it's when to. It's not I can do it, so I'll do it. It's when to pass, when to move, when to dribble. He needs to
Everything
learn,
is about him.
bro, and it's so annoying.
Yeah.
And
Everything's
small,
about
no, like he gets, he's still a child because he gets very excited, like small fun. He'll do some dribble, it won't work, then he's give me fans. It's not about that. The team is chasing a title. Like nobody cares about your dribble. It's the result that we want. So far, it's what? 1 goal he scored. The one against
Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
1 goal he scored. And you've had
Since
enough
he joined.
opportunity. Yeah, you've had enough opportunity to get numbers. No assist, nothing. You are dribbling and pulling your shots up and doing gimme fans. Nobody cares about that. But the thing is, Arteta has really impressed me. But put that aside, I was looking at the Arsenal injury situation, and I think that the end of the tunnel is coming.
Who is coming?
Havertz is coming back in December. Saliba is coming back in December. Gabriel Jesus is already back. He's on the bench. So
What about
Odegaard is
Gabriel?
back. Gabriel will come late December. So by early January, he should be playing. So it looks like when they come, they are coming boom. Like
Together.
the squad is just
Like new signings.
Yes, they are all coming. And I was looking at the fixture schedule. Very important that they came at that time. When they
Yeah.
are coming back at that time. Because the beginning of January, the combination of FA Cup, Champions League, Premier League, before it settles down late February, if you don't take care, you could lose guard. So it's very important that they are coming back at that time, especially when rivals will be losing some key players to the AFCON. Arsenal can continue to build that gap. And the way the Premier League is going, it's like almost a repeat of last season.
Yeah.
By March, the league will be done. If Arsenal can continue this consistency,
Yeah.
if they can win,
tip Arsenal
if they
to
can win 90% of their games from now until the end of February, I think the league
Make
will
sure they don't lose against their direct rivals, whoever that will be. Because
Yeah.
when they lose, that could create some
It
pressure.
can hinder. It can even hinder confidence.
Exactly.
Actually, you get to comment on Liverpool. Yesterday we saw again Van Dijk give away another error leading directly to goal.
But
Pass
this is
the
not his
ball.
fault.
Pass the
They
ball,
are not serious.
and the way he was defending, no, like
I've told that's what he does. They are not
all the time. I didn't understand. I mean, Vets, they took the goal away from him, right?
Yeah, it's an own goal.
It's an own goal.
His strike was going somewhere, crowd. It was going to corner. And the deflection of the guy went to the
Me, I
goal.
say you can't, as a fan base, decide who the problem is and come and impose it on us. Now
No,
you
no.
boy, you be who?
It would be-
The problem is Van Dijk, and we must talk about it.
No, the problem is Konate. So we should pick
It's
on
not
Konate.
Konate.
The only reason they are picking on Konate is
because he's not
just
signed the
signing
contract.
a new contract. So
Yeah.
he's not a scapegoat and he's a cause of all their problems. Van Dijk cannot be defending like this and you expect us not to talk about it. Are you serious? Somebody you claim is part of the greatest defender in Premier League. Look at what he's doing. Look at what he's doing. He's like heaven, the man you boy.
At times they want to compare him to Vidic.
Yeah. So that was a game at home. They drew, and then the previous 2 matches at home, they lost.
Yeah.
So that's the first time since 2021 that Liverpool have not won in 3 consecutive matches.
At Anfield.
At Anfield.
That is serious.
If they had another central defender on the bench, I would have said they should drop Van Dijk.
But he wouldn't do it. They'll pick on Konate.
This
So
Dutch
yesterday's
biasness.
no, that defending against Sunderland was very comical. The fact that he gave the ball away,
Friends,
then started retreating,
Last
and then
week.
he's not stepping.
It was half
he's not stepping up to
the guy is coming
forward.
you are going back.
I don't understand that.
Same with the Semenyo.
Last week, I said that handball thing, it looked deliberate because he had no
That looks
business
so
doing it.
bizarre.
It was very
deliberate.
bizarre.
That was so
He had no
bizarre.
bu- and then this one, he saw the blue
So
shirt
that's
in front of him.
back-to-back weeks.
Yes, this one, he saw the blue shirt in front of him. It wasn't as if he was trying to play a line breaker and he got intercepted.
Right,
No,
right.
This was within between 5 and 7 yards. And then he gave it away. The form he's showing, the errors he's making that are leading directly to goals. You see, we have this construct that when it comes to certain players, we shouldn't use certain phrases about them. You were talking about Tosin. If he had been Tosin or some other defenders, we are quick to remember, he's made this number of errors leading directly. Van Dijk is making successive ones.
That's crazy.
But because of the narrative that he's Van Dijk, it is almost flying under the radar. And no one really is prepared to call it out and deal with that situation with the severity that it deserves.
Yeah.
Look, at this rate, I would not mind putting an 18-year-old into the team. After all, how bad can it get? They are losing anyway. He's making mistakes that is costing them goals anyway. There is nothing that a kid is going to do in that team that will be worse than what Van Dijk and Konate are doing at the moment. I said it last week, and I maintain that big calls have to be big.
Yeah.
I think he started well with the Salah thing because the team needs to get used to not having Salah around for the AFCON. And so that is a decision that I'm in full support of. I probably would not play him over the next 2 games. Right? Maybe he comes in as an emergency card for when the team desperately needs goals. But beyond him, between Florian Wirtz and Isaac, somebody needs a seat on the bench. Prioritize solidity first. Introduce Sobosla. Sobosla has been their best player this season.
Yeah, yes.
Play him in midfield. If it means adding Endo to the mix to give the defense better protection, because the most important thing now is to stop the leak.
Yes.
Rather, that Liverpool midfield and the defense is like a basket. It's like fetching water with a basket. Every game, opponents are allowed multiple shots on goal, multiple chances. Sometimes, even the best of the goalkeeper is not enough. The save that Alisson made that came off the woodwork. It was just straight down to luck.
Yeah.
But it happened because opponents are how many players were in the half space? How many Sunderland players in that passing sequence were in that half space?
If player one misses his player
So
two,
clearly, something has to give. He needs to look at how to find. Look, Liverpool are scoring goals in every game. But the problem is something that started from last season. In the last 16 matches in the last season, Liverpool conceded 28 goals.
Wow. Of last season?
Yes.
so the thing, it was coming. Oh.
That
And then I
is-
didn't watch it.
It's
that
because of the gap. So people were not really
Yes.
noticing.
That is 4 goals shy of 2 goals conceded per game.
No, unacceptable.
It continued
And
to
it has
pre-season
spilled
to
over.
the start of the season.
It has spilled over into the new season. So for me, look, forget whatever combinations they find. Liverpool will get goals. And yeah, some 1 goal, 2 goal be there. They will sneak it.
Yeah.
But if you are not conceding, that 1 goal converts a defeat into a draw.
Exactly.
It converts a draw into a win.
Exactly.
That's why I'm saying that focus on the defense. Look, one of Konate and Van Dijk, if it is possible, if you can find someone from the youth team to partner Joe Gomez, maybe someone from the youth team to play at right back, do it. Because every game, Konate, Oshie, Van Dijk, he's giving away goals. The only language, look, Slot's approach to this has to communicate to everyone, especially the players, that we are in crisis.
Yeah.
And that
So I'm trying to do something.
Yes, and that bad performances, mistakes come with consequences. It should not be so easy for us to be having the conversation of a Salah a misfit for the team, so let's drop him. It's Vets
Why aren't we having the same conversation about Van Dijk?
about
Exactly.
Van Dijk
You're right.
when he's leaking goals. So look,
All right.
for
And
me,
it's not about to be easier.
no, for
because
me, no,
they're
it's
going
not.
to Elon Road.
No, it's not.
Please.
And then after that,
They're
Inter
going to
Milan.
lose over the weekend.
Yes.
Yes.
And then after that, Inter Milan
And after that, Inter
in
away.
the Champions League.
Or is it at home?
And then go fix it doesn't matter.
Because now they are losing anyway.
No, then after that, they go to San Siro. So,
So
2
look-
away games in a row.
For me, it is not even a question of tactics. Let your decisions reflect the severity of the situation. Yeah,
Even
Omar,
after that in Spurs. So 3 games in a row away from home.
Spurs, everybody.
Abab. But you see, when the
That's
show
when Liverpool
when
are
two
playing,
shares meet,
It can end in a draw.
when there's El Shashko, when there's El Shashiko,
It can end in a draw.
it could- anybody's game. I think that's our lowdown on the Premier League midweek action. But coach Charlie, Kylian Mbappe, the 2 goals. Did you see the goals?
No, I didn't.
The
watch.
first,
Oh
the
my
first one was
God.
called nonsense.
Coach, you missed.
Nonsense.
Oh my God.
Control. The first touch, no,
Hey.
far away from the defender.
Coach.
Go. All time Mbappe, 1-2, far away.
Charlie. Coach. And he hit the second one too.
See, it's one of those goals someone scores that it looks like they were just annoyed by everything happening around, and they just decided that I'm going to show you guys who
Did
I
he
am.
actually do that? Then you said, wow. He's a good player. I mean,
It is. And you know,
his quality as
but
well.
even more importantly, he's reached a new milestone. He has matched Cristiano Ronaldo's record from 2012, the number of goals in number of goals in a calendar year.
Yeah.
And in that calendar year, Ronaldo scored 62 goals in that calendar year.
And he scored.
He's now scored 62,
He could
but the
score
calendar
more.
year hasn't ended. Exactly. But in terms of total number of goals scored in the calendar year, he's still behind Messi's 2012 record, which remains the record, 91 goals that season. Then Ronaldo himself in 2013 scored 69.
And he's at what, 64 now?
62.
So he's
And
But he's
then
got 5 games to
And
go.
then there's Lewandowski's 2021 season, where he also scored 69. And now Mbappe has moved up to 4th with 62 goals. So his next record is to target
I think they'll break
Lewandowski.
that.
He's got
By
5
the help
goals.
of Florentino Perez, he can break that.
He can do it.
With the help of
In
that.
December.
Why Perez?
But in December, how many
Some
more
of
games?
the penalties
They've got
he's
5
scoring,
games.
They've got 5
Yeah,
games
they
left.
penalties.
Some of the what?
The penalties he's been scoring, dubious penalties they give to them all the time.
Oh, coach, don't go.
They've
It's
got
true
5 games
now.
remaining.
It's
But he
true.
still has to convert it.
What I'm saying, if it's not given, you don't convert. We've seen Real Madrid play this season. Truth be told, it's like every game they will have to get a penalty. It's not fair. And some of the
They
penalties
have
been
4
very
games
dubious
left.
penalties.
They have 4 games left in December.
Okay.
This weekend against Celta Vigo.
I expect
Then the
him to
Champions
score.
League game against Man City. And after that, 2 La Liga games. Alaves on the 14th. Real and Sevilla on the 20th.
You
of
know who I want to
December.
see?
Then they go for a
Barcelona buy?
little break and come back in January.
There's only one player that Barcelona should go and buy. That boy should not play with at Man City. Man City now, the boy has grown past Man City.
Haaland.
Rodri. No man,
Let's talk
Rodri.
about Haaland.
Haaland. Take him to Spain so that we'll now see.
Haaland and Mbappe.
That's where the world best will be decided in the
But
next few years.
Like Haaland will score more. If he's
Yeah.
playing for Barcelona, there, he can score. You score 120 goals
I
in
swear.
calendar year. I promise.
in
you.
Spain.
Anyway, so that's our review of the midweek action. I hope you enjoyed it. Coach hosted the first part of this segment, and he says that if you enjoyed his hosting, he wants to know in the comments if that should continue
Anytime Chelsea lose.
anytime or every week.
No, anytime Chelsea loses.
Anyway, so leave us comments, leave us your thoughts, share with your friends, introduce them to the Malam Go podcast, and let me know what you make. But yeah, so that's our weekend review. Thank you for watching.